Hey everybody, welcome back to Film Schooled. On today's episode, I'm breaking down the musical episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and since it's a musical episode, it's only fair that I sing this review. I'm just kidding. I can't sing at all, but lucky for us, the cast of Strange New Worlds can, and they brought together an incredible episode this week. The episode starts with our cast getting drawn to a subspace rift, which alters reality and causes everyone to start singing. This is a full-blown musical episode. There is about 11 tracks, I believe, throughout this actual episode. I would say 2 or 3 of those feel very filler-ish, but the rest do a really good job advancing the story and the characters and are just a lot of fun. You can tell that the cast is all on board here. Everybody gets something to do in this episode, and it's something that the show has done really well up to this point anyway, is giving this entire ensemble really good story arcs that all get a little bit of attention throughout this episode. It is on the longer end of the Strange New World episodes. It clocks in just under an hour, and they do a lot with that time. We get to go deeper into Spock and Nurse Chapel's complicated relationship. We get to dig into Ahora's just role within the ship, and she gets a really powerful piece of this episode. We get a lot more of La'an and Kirk, which is something that I was very excited for because I love that storyline. And so everybody gets to do their part. Everybody gets these great numbers. And most importantly, we get a moment to look at how dramatic the Klingons really are. I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen the episode, but that moment is one of the best in the entire episode and in Strange New Worlds so far. It's absolutely hilarious. In addition to the really fun storyline, there are 2 references that are really interesting within this. One is to the series Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which had what I think is forever going to be the penultimate musical episode of any television show. And there's a moment when they're first discovering that realities are changing, and they all are very nervous that they're going to turn into bunnies in some alternate reality. And it has to be a direct line to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let me know what you think in the comments.
I've got a theory, it could be bunnies. I've got a bunnies aren't just cute like everybody supposes. They got them hopping legs and twitching little noses. And what's with all the carrots? What do they need such good eyesight for anyway? Bunnies, it must be bunnies.
The other one is Star Trek adjacent. Kirk and La'an, there's a minor spoiler here. Kirk and La'an are having a conversation about their potential relationship, and Kirk says that he has a kind of on and off again relationship with someone, and it's very on right now. And he specifically mentions the name of this woman, and it is Carol. He's referencing Carol Marcus from Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
How can you ask me that? Were we together? Were we going to be? You had your world, and I had mine.
Outside of the movies, this is the first time that I think she's been mentioned in any of the series whatsoever. And I think that's a really fun tie-in and kind of reroutes us in where we're at in the timeline in regards to this Kirk and the Kirk that we will know in the movie Wrath of Khan. But that was a really interesting kind of mention to have within this episode. But overall, this is a really fun episode, especially coming off the back of an extremely dark and heavy episode, which I think was actually the best one of the entire season. To have this kind of relaxing, fun, upbeat episode was a really good choice on the part of the Strange New Worlds creative team. So I'm curious to see where you go in the next one, because we went to a very low as far as themes go to a very boisterous high, and I'm curious to see where they keep going. I personally love the whiplash of this series and the fact that we are getting a very serialized adventure with story arcs behind them. It's the best of Star Trek, in my opinion. So excited to see where it goes next. Let me know what you thought of this musical episode in the comments below.